I'm pleased to welcome all of you this evening. I'm Frank Prey. I'm the president of the Wings Club Foundation for probably another 20 minutes, so please indulge me. I would like to start by saying that it's been an honor to serve as your president for the past year. It's been a very successful year for the foundation, and I would like to also introduce some individuals who have worked hard for our benefit over the past year. We are fortunate to have many of the Board of Governors with us tonight, and I hope you have an opportunity to meet them all. Please stand as your name is called. Barry Butler, President, Embry-Riddle. Barry, good evening. Bob Kraft, Foundation Counsel, Holland and Knight. David Davenport, Co-CEO, President, Commercial Flight Safety International. Rick Derlew, Senior Vice President, Customers, Chief Commercial Officer, Pratt & Whitney. Sharon DeVivo, President, Vaughan College. Didn't see Sharon yet. Matt Green, Executive Vice President, Safe Flight Instrument. Matt, good evening. Robin Hayes, CEO, JetBlue Airways. Robin, good evening. Jim Jacobs, President, JWJ Advisors. Jim, good evening. Gary Krauthammer, President, Krauthammer & Associates. Good evening, Gary. Jeff Michalek, President, Chief Executive Officer, Delta Private Jets. Jeff, good evening. Joan Rosa-Vallon, President and CEO of Dassault Falcon Jet. Good evening. Christian Scherer, Chief Commercial Officer at Airbus. Good evening. Andrew Watterson, Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer, Southwest Airlines. Good evening. We're also honored that past Wings Club presidents continue to support the foundation as Presidents Emeritus. Please stand to be recognized. Bob Aronson, Chairman, Propeller Airports. Good evening, Bob. Ken Gazzola. Ken, please stand. Publisher Emeritus, Aviation Week, and President, 4 Stars Aviation. We're also pleased to welcome a number of students here this evening. Joining us are students from the Aviation Club at NYU. Welcome. We hope you enjoy tonight's program. I would also like to thank Tom Fitzsimmons. He's already standing. Our Executive Director for his hard work over the past year. I was going to say, Tom, please stand to be recognized, but you are. And Tom, from me personally, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I would also like to thank the Wings Club staff for all their hard work over the past year. Harvey Cohen. Harvey, thank you. Leah McDougall and Joan Landis. Thank you, ladies. Big thank you also to Candace Adams-Kimmel and Marie Rosa and the team at Adams Unlimited for all their support. Thank you, ladies. My report for the year. I'm pleased to report that the Wings Club Foundation is in good health and well positioned for future growth. We continue to make excellent progress in our mission to advance aerospace education. During the past year, we've made some significant strides in several very important areas. We increased our scholarship awards, adding Purdue University to the list of recipients. In total, the Wings Club presented $135,000 in scholarships and grants at our annual awards gala. The Aerospace on Campus program, very important, presented in partnership with Aviation Week, continues to grow. The program highlights both technical and management careers in aviation. Since the program's inception, Wings Club executives have made campus presentations to over 1,500 college students at 16 leading universities across the United States. We have also made good progress on our initiative to expand the international visibility of the Wings Club Foundation. Last April, we held our first event in Asia with our Tokyo Luncheon. In October, we held our second successful event in Dubai, and we will also hold our traditional international luncheons in Dublin and Ireland and Geneva, Switzerland this coming spring. We've made significant progress with each of these initiatives. We hope that the past year's accomplishments will continue to serve the foundation well for many years to come. I would like to thank the Board of Governors and the entire membership for all your support. It's been a sincere privilege and honor to serve as the Wings Club Foundation president. We have a short video that captures some of the highlights from past year.
So it's my pleasure to present you with this gavel and wish you nothing but the best and, of course, all the support and for a great year. Thank you. Thank you very much, Frank.
Sacrifice. I think it's the key to happiness. Sacrifice is love in action. And the sacrifice, the important sacrifice, is a sacrifice with no bottom line, nothing, no quid pro quo. All it will do is increase your capacity for more sacrifice. And the greater your capacity for sacrifice is, the greater will be your capacity for leadership, for responsibility, indeed, I believe, for happiness itself.
We have the good fortune to have been competing against Ryanair for the longest of any airline in the world, 30 years, because they're based across the car park.
They tried to buy you.
They tried to buy us
Couple
3 times. And in retrospect, yeah, that would have made for an interesting board meeting.
This group has come together, a mix of pro and anti-privatization leaders, to talk about where we go from here.
I think the question should be, and I think the question continues to be, how do we make sure the United States has the largest, the safest, the most efficient, the most diverse air transportation system, not just today, but in the future?
There are reasons why we targeted women. The first reason is to differentiate ourselves from existing airline companies that usually focus on businessmen or group tourists. The second reason is that women are quite often key or sole decision maker in household. Do you agree with me?
So we're seeing a renaissance, and that's really the point I wanted to make, of the turboprop aircraft, we believe, in the world market. Last year alone, in 2017 alone, 155 new routes have been created with ATR airplanes in the installed fleet of airplanes around the world. Even in the Americas, at the risk of not being able to tell you where exactly, I understand, in North America, US, Canada, 20 new routes were opened flying ATR airplanes.
Our international operation started just 31 years ago in 1986, thanks to the deregulation started in USA. At that time, ANA began its first scheduled service to Guam, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. In other words, it was the U.S. market that finally opened the door for our international expansion.
So I hope you'll find my remarks worth listening to today, even though I'm not Fred. In fact, I'm not even the same guy that they took this photo of and sent out to you. Whoever that guy was, he was a lot younger, he might have been a lot smarter, but maybe like a fine bottle of wine, I haven't gone to vinegar just yet. 45 years ago, FedEx began turning aviation business and business possibilities upside down. We built one of the largest transportation systems on the planet. We got there by doing one thing, and that was always putting the customer first.
The aerospace market today is probably the strongest I've known it for several decades. I've been in this business for over 30 years. You know, it's now being talked about as one of the strongest industrial sectors out there today.
Good to see so many faces here, and to all my friends on the Wings Club board. I actually went to a meeting today, so I'm out of Tom's bad books for a while. And for those of you who have traveled, welcome to our hometown. Welcome to the city of New York. And as New York's only hometown airline, we love having you here.
Among the other big changes at Southwest in 2018, no peanuts. I want to know who made that decision.
Oh, Mike Vandeven made that decision.
Okay.
I thought it was really dumb. There were over 250 flights a day, every day, on average, that we were having to deal with a peanut allergy in some form or fashion.
Well, the biggest growth we've had in the last few years has been domestic and regional, because we went from no aircraft to 20 aircraft flying with Amazon, and we've also grown the 767 fleet that we fly for DHL. So a few years ago, in terms of hours, because departures and hours, we used to be probably 90% plus international flight hours and 10% domestic or regional. I think it's probably a 20-ish plus % domestic.
You know, you mentioned that New Shepard is a stepping stone to orbital ambitions. You're working on a New Glenn launch vehicle, and sort of the building block of that is the BE-4 engine that you're developing for that. How is the work on the BE-4 going?
That's going really well. We have tested that engine now that has 1,800 seconds of test time on it. It's been up to 400,000 pounds of thrust. It's liquefied natural gas as fuel, liquid oxygen as oxidizer, uses an oxygen-rich stage combustion cycle. It's a very advanced engine. We want it to be a 21st century American engine, kind of the new version of the F1. We're building a facility to manufacture those engines in Alabama right now, in Huntsville. We're also going to build the upper stage variant of the BE-3 there. And when that's up and running at full capacity, we'll be building dozens of engines a year there. The solar system can support 1 trillion humans. And then we'd have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. Think how incredible and dynamic that civilization would be. But if we're going to have that, we do have to go out into the solar system. And we have to capture more of the sun's output. And we have to use all the resources that are out in space in terms of minerals and not just energy. And that's very doable, but we have to get started. The fact of the matter is we don't have forever.
The primary mission of our foundation is to support aviation and aerospace scholarships. This year, we are pleased to announce that we have expanded our scholarship grant program, and tonight we will honor 9 outstanding students with academic scholarships. Willie, tonight it is my honor and great privilege to present to you the 2018 Wings Club Foundation Distinguished Achievement Award. Congratulations.
But it was actually 17 years ago today, 19th of October, that I took over as the CEO of Aer Lingus. And I clearly remember that day very well. It was only shortly after the tragic events of 9/11. And, you know, I'm very honest about this. I got the chance to be the CEO of Aer Lingus because nobody else wanted it. You know, it was sort of well known to everybody that it was going out of business, so somebody had to do it, and I thought, well, why not? You know, we'll have a bit of fun. When I listened to Gloria Gaynor, it reminded me of my first day as a CEO in this industry. You know, first I was afraid. I was petrified. And on that happy note, can I thank you all, and can I thank the Wings Club for the fantastic work that they do and for honouring me tonight. Thank you very much.
It was certainly an eventful year for the Wings Club Foundation, but now on to the business matters for tonight's meeting. I ask Tom Fitzsimmons whether we have a quorum. We do. Thank you, Tom. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes of the previous annual meeting held March 28, 2018. Copies of the meeting minutes are at the registration table in the back. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, please? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you. The committee chairs have prepared annual reports of their activities. The reports are now presented collectively as the annual report of the Wings Club Foundation. In the annual report, there is also my letter summarizing our accomplishments for the past year. The annual report is here tonight at the registration table in the back. In addition, copies of the audited financial statements and the foundation tax returns are available as well. Can I have a motion to approve the annual report? A second? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. The Governance Committee, chaired by Chris Kubasik, has nominated the following members of the Board of Governors to serve a 3-year term. Gregory Hall, Robin Hayes, Candace Irvin, Todd Coleman, Roberto Crete, Chris Kubasik. The following members have been nominated to serve on the Board of Governors for a 2-year term beginning March 27, 2019, and that is Ron Bauer and Andrew Watterson. The following are new nominations for a 3-year term on the Board of Governors. Their bio information is also available at the reception table. It is Chris Jones, Senior Vice President Customers, Airbus North America. Michael Silvestro, Chief Executive Officer of FlexJet. Are there any nominations from the floor? There being no nominations from the floor, I will now close the nominations. Can I have a motion to elect these candidates for the board? A second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Report on the Golden Eagles. We will now move to the report on the Golden Eagles. In 1990, the Board of Governors voted to establish a new category of membership, one that would recognize and honor those longtime members who have given and continue to give their support to the Wings Club Foundation. Members of this honorary group, whose combined length of time in the club and life are equal to or greater than 120 years for men or 95 years for women, are known as the Golden Eagles. The difference in criteria is that there were no women in the club prior to 1970. There are 4 Golden Eagles this year. Judy Ash, elected in 1999, Bill Bursch, elected in 1972, Julius Maldutis, elected in 1978, and Dick Richmond, elected in 1998. Unfortunately, our Golden Eagles are not able to be here with us tonight. Their certificates and Golden Eagle pins will be mailed to them. If there are any Golden Eagles in attendance, please stand and be recognized for your long and valuable support of our club. Thank you for being with us tonight. One of the very special events of the Wings Club is the annual gala. Each October at the gala, we honor a member of the industry with the Wings Club Distinguished Achievement Award. The award honors an individual who exhibits outstanding accomplishments in the field of aviation and aeronautics. We are very pleased to announce this evening the selection of Dr. Thomas Enders as this year's honoree. Tom is Chief Executive Officer of Airbus. He has had a long and distinguished career and is certainly very deserving of this very prestigious award. We all look very much forward to honoring Tom at the gala on Friday, October 18th. The gala will again be held at the New York Hilton Midtown. We hope you can all make it. Everyone is invited to remain for the annual meeting of the board, which will follow immediately after this. After the board meeting, it will be an honor to present this year's Outstanding Aviator Award. The annual meeting of the Wings Club Foundation now stands adjourned. I now call to order the annual meeting of the Board of Governors. Tom, do we have a quorum? We do. The Governance Committee has proposed a foundation officer slate for 2019-2020 for the fiscal year. The nominations are for President, David Davenport; Vice President, President-elect, Chris Kubasik; Vice President, Elise Eberwein; Treasurer, Todd Coleman; Secretary, John Brogan; Counsel, Bob Kraft. Can I have a motion to elect these candidates as presented? A second? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. We have a new officer team. Congratulations. David, may I ask you to join me? It is my great pleasure to invite David to the podium. David, please accept this gavel as a recognition of your new role as Wings Club Foundation President. I wish you luck and, of course, offer my support. I now turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you, Frank.
And I think we need to do a picture.
With the gavel.
And one handshake.
Thank you, Frank.
I got to make sure my wife doesn't get a hold of that thing, because I know she'll put it to use. But first, really, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Frank for his friendship, his efforts, and leadership during the past year as president of the Wings Club Foundation. And as an actual expression of the Foundation's appreciation, we are presenting Frank with the Wings Club President's Chair. Now, we didn't bring it here. We shipped it to his office. But here's a picture of the Wings Club President's Chair. Frank, congratulations and well done. If you wouldn't mind standing back up. I would like to present Frank with this plaque for his service, and the inscription reads, "Presented to Frank Prey, in grateful appreciation for your dedicated service as President 2018 to 2019, the Wings Club Foundation, New York City, March 27th, 2019. Thank you again, Frank. Very good. Thanks, Frank. So first, I would like to express my sincere appreciation for being elected. It's certainly an honor and privilege to serve as president of the Wings Club Foundation. Through the hard work of all my predecessors, the foundation is in a very solid position, and my job is let's not screw it up. So on to that. But really, our objective for the upcoming year is to continue to refine and improve on the many programs that we currently have underway. And a specific area of focus will be to promote the field of aviation to the youth of tomorrow, because today's students are tomorrow's leaders, and they are the future of our industry. And the Wings Club currently awards 9 annual students, as Frank mentioned, for scholarships. But we will be reviewing opportunities to increase our annual scholarship grants and also look at opportunities to increase the diversity of the scholarships that we present. In addition, we will be expanding the Aerospace on Campus program to reach out to more students at additional aviation-oriented university and colleges. We will also explore opportunities to work with other organizations to promote aviation. An example is the NBAA's YoPro program. YoPro is the acronym for the Young Professionals in Business Aviation Initiative. And the program brings together and builds ties between young people and business aviation. Each of these initiatives will advance our mission to support aerospace aviation. So we're looking forward to an exciting year at the Wings Club. We are very fortunate to have talented leaders and engaged membership. With our combined efforts, we are sure to be successful. Tom, is there any old business, or anybody on the board have any old business? Okay, any new business? Okay. And now I'd like to announce and request board approval of the committee chairs for 2018 and 2019. Heading up the Advancement Committee, David Davenport and Mary Ellen Jones. The Awards Committee, Jeff Niddle. The Executive Committee, chaired by the President. The Finance Committee, Todd Coleman. Governance Committee, Chris Kubasik. Historical and Educational Committee, Ken Gazzola. Membership Committee, Matt Green and Don Hickton. Program Committee, Rick Drollo. Regional Events, Frank Prey. And the Scholarship Committee, Elise Eberwein and Greg Hamilton. Can I have a motion to approve the slate? Can I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? The committee chairs are approved. I would like to remind everyone about tomorrow's monthly luncheon. Our featured speaker will be Tom Weiss, Chief Executive Officer and President of Aerion. If you're not aware, Aerion is developing the first supersonic business jet. The next Wings Club Foundation annual meeting will be held on Wednesday evening, March 25th, 2020. Please mark your calendars. We will now conclude our board meeting and move on to the presentation of this year's Outstanding Aviator Award. Can I have a motion to adjourn the board meeting now? We stand adjourned. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ken Gazzola, Chairman of the Historical and Education Committee and past President of the Wings Club, to introduce this year's Outstanding Aviator Award. Thank you, Ken.
I guess the women in aviation are well represented tonight. David, congratulations, and Frank, thanks for a great year. In case any of you are new, and certainly the first row is new to the Wings Club, it's an extraordinary organization with an extraordinary history. And so welcome to you to be here tonight. So tonight, we, the Wings Club, in partnership with the Iowa group, the International Aviation Women's Association, present our 10th annual Outstanding Aviator Award. We started this with quite a few luminaries, and you'll hear that in a moment. But the award was created to recognize aviators whose actions have made major contributions to aviation or aviation safety, and most importantly, serve as a role model for all aviators. And certainly, with the history of the Wings Club, we have a lot of aviators. This evening, we're proud to honor Brigadier General Jeannie M. Leavitt, who in 1993 became the first female fighter pilot in the United States Air Force and the first woman to command a USAF combat fighter wing. And if you can go back in history, that's even more of an extraordinary achievement. By today's standards, maybe not as much because of many, many women, but what you did was a pioneering role. Our honoree will join a stellar roster of aviators previously recognized with the Aviation Award. The list includes, and the first three need no elaboration, the Tuskegee Airmen. And I remember the first night when 50 of them came here, 6 plus their families, and it was an extraordinary evening. The WASPs, legendary, the Women Air Force Service Pilots, the Doolittle Raiders, Patty Wagstaff, world leader in aerobatic flying, Bob Hoover, the pilot's pilot, revolutionizing modern aerobatic flying, Susanna Darcy Henneman, Boeing's lead test pilot on the 777 program, Colonel Ed Rock, and he communicated with me yesterday knowing that our Wings Club award is coming up and said he wishes congratulations to the current recipient. He's retired Wild Weasel pilot, and you know he's a brazen guy. His famous book, Mr. First In, Last Out, spells a lot about the Wild Weasel pilots in Vietnam. Next is Major Heather Penny, and she was here as heroic F-16 intercept pilot on 9/11. And I don't have to explain how difficult that day was for her and her partner in F-16s. Major General Patrick Brady, United States Army retired. He was a helicopter pilot who had 400 holes in his helicopter at the end of that day, and he's a Medal of Honor recipient, Major General Patrick Brady. Now, this video we have tonight will best tell the story of Brigadier General Leavitt. Play the video, please.
Lieutenant, I'm sure you're a Sierra Hotel pilot and looking forward to the F-15.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you cannot do in comparison with your male counterparts? Do you have the stamina to compete one-on-one, do you think?
Yes, sir. I go through the same training that my male counterparts go through, and I've had no problems to this point, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of flying the F-15E. Lieutenant, what is it?
When I started pilot training in 1992, the Air Force, indeed the world, was different. And trust me, so were the popular hairstyles.
I definitely wanted to fly fighters, so when it became...
I didn't set out to break barriers, but I've had a lot of opportunities in my career to do just that. From being the Air Force's first female fighter pilot, to the first woman to command a combat fighter wing,
As members of the 57th Wing, we all have the chance to be part of something bigger than ourselves. I challenge you to take advantage of this opportunity.
And though I didn't used to like the term trailblazer, if it means that those who follow the same path meet less resistance, then I guess I'm okay with that title. The Air Force is different now, and so is my hair. But throughout the years, one thing has stayed the same: my philosophy.
Race, religion, none of that matters. What matters is how you perform.
And that's how I got here. It's the message we pass on to new airmen. It's the spirit of our great Air Force, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. Aim high, airmen.
I'd like to give special thanks to the Air Force for the production of this video. We didn't have a good one, but you exceeded our expectations. Thank you. As I would expect from the Air Force. For the presentation of the award from the International Aviation Women's Association, please welcome Milan Skolnick, Senior Advisor at ICF International and past President and current member of the Advisory Board of Iowa. Milan?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's a great pleasure for us to be here again, and we want to thank the Wings Club for another opportunity to bring to the stage another extraordinary woman, Brigadier General Leavitt, who, like all the other female recipients we have had over the years, is an inspiration and a role model. At Iowa since 1988, so it's been a long time, our mission has been to showcase exemplary women who are as capable, talented, impactful, hardworking as their male counterparts. And what we want to achieve is for other younger women to say, hey, I can do it too. So Iowa provides a platform for networking. We have our next annual conference in Lima, Peru. We'll be in 2020 in Singapore. We provide education scholarship to several universities, including Vaughan, and we have one of our scholarship recipients here, Catherine Guerrero, who has graduated from Vaughan College. So one thing I wanted to say, I'm usually very mellow in my speeches here because I sort of don't want to rock the boat too much, but the pace of change is really, really slow. I read a World Economic Forum calculation that said it would take us overall 202 years to get to gender parity. So I think it's too slow. So we've been raising awareness and talking about gender diversity, but I think here what I want to call upon a lot of you who are at the heads of big corporation or small corporation to action, to think about gender diversity all the time, to instill gender diversity throughout corporations in processes from top to bottom so that people are accountable and there is effective change. So I really want to stress the message here that what we lack is the pipeline, the middle part, where women are starting to have families, and you know that from your wife, your sisters, your daughters, and that's where they start leaving. So we need all of you in your companies to make sure that there is flexibility of work, there is equal gender pay, equal opportunity, so that these women stay in the industry, in aviation and aeronautics. So I think that pipeline will allow us then to have more women at the C-suite. So I wanted to stress that message today, but I wanted to thank the Wings Club for giving us the opportunity to share this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so...
General, would you join us, please? On behalf of the Wings Club in Iowa, it is our pleasure to present you with the 2019 Outstanding Aviator Award.
This is very humbling, especially when he listed some former recipients. It's very much an honor to be here. I have had so many opportunities because I decided to join the Air Force. I didn't know a lot about it. I was this kid going in aerospace engineering, and I really enjoyed it, but then I met someone waiting for pilot training, and I go, oh my gosh, seriously? You can get paid to learn how to fly and be paid to be a pilot? That sounds amazing. And that's where it all started. And I had so many opportunities. And the vast majority of my career has been very much flying airplanes, which I love, and tactical warfighting. So this new assignment, I'm now in charge of Air Force recruiting. Huge learning curve, but what a mission. The mission is to inspire, engage, and recruit the next generation of airmen. Well, I have professional recruiters, so I get to focus on the inspire and engage. And if I can inspire a young man or woman to work hard and set goals and do something great, it's better for national security, whether they join the military or not. And we get to educate the American public, because I was surprised at how low the knowledge level was. And so we try to engage and tell them about all the opportunities in the Air Force, that it's not just pilots. There are pilot opportunities, but there's all these other career fields. And you can serve full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. And so we found that by engaging with the American public and telling them about all these opportunities, that has been, you know, a chance to teach people about what they can do. Now, one of the things that is a priority for my leadership is to increase pilot diversity. They want more women, more minorities, things like that. And so as head of Air Force Recruiting Service, they look over and go, okay, what are you doing? And I said, we're working on it. And so one of the things that happened was while I was at the 57th Wing, Marvel Studios reached out through our public affairs and asked us to assist with the Captain Marvel movie. So if you'll notice in there, I am holding that helmet, which is Captain Marvel's, in case you haven't seen the movie. That's not the actual one I fly with. And so as part of that, we thought, okay, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to inspire young women to know that this is an opportunity for them as well, that they can be pilots. Because so many times I found, you know, when I was at the 57th Wing, I would be out with the Thunderbirds on the road, and you'd meet these young girls. And I remember listening, and one of the other pilots was like, hey, do you want to be a pilot when you grow up? And she said, I can. And he said, why not? And she said, well, I'm a girl. And he said, oh, no, our boss, she's a pilot. You can be a pilot. And to see her mom's eyes just tear up like someone believing in her child, that she could do it. And that goes such a long way. And so one of the things we did was we made a short little commercial, and this is a kind of a screenshot from it, but I want to go ahead and show you that commercial. It's 30 second, and here it is.
Every superhero has an origin story. We all got our start somewhere. For us, it was the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you.
We can't let the General get away without one flying story. So, General?
Okay, that was not told to me ahead of time, so now I'm going to be thinking on the spot, but I just thought of one. Okay, so as a lieutenant, I was flying out on the Nellis Ranges, and that is the absolute best flying you can have in the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is just north of Las Vegas. And I was a fairly new lieutenant, and there weren't other women flying fighters. We were playing the role of Red Air, okay, so we were the bad guys. And so we had all kinds of handcuffs in terms of like what we were allowed to do, what we were not allowed to do. So we were expected to get shot. That was kind of our job, you know, just go in, fly the planes, get shot. So I was a pretty new lieutenant, and you know, when threats came up, I mean, I'm reacting, I'm doing everything I can, but other people are kind of like, yeah, we know we're gonna get shot. So I got stripped off, so I'm by myself now. It's a two-seat airplane, so I do have my backseater, but we're not with the rest of our foreship. And I get into this area, and I see the ones we're supposed to shoot. And I'm like, there's 3 of them. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember I popped up my nose to get a lock on one, and we have like only heat missiles. I mean, we're highly restricted, right? But I'm right there. So they don't expect me to be there. So I go up there, and I take a shot, and I call the kill on the radios. Oh my goodness, every single airplane started just raining flares. You know, the flares are the IR countermeasures, and they're like, oh my gosh, when they heard my voice calling a kill, it was raining flares, and I was just getting out of the way of all the countermeasures that were raining down on me. So it was kind of funny. And then we're like, okay, they're knocking off end of range time, and I don't know my way around the ranges, so I'm really hoping I can hop on someone's wing. No one was interested in bringing me home that day. So I had to like pull out the checklist and figure out my own way and stay out of trouble on the Nellis Ranges, but it was pretty awesome. I've got so many flying stories that if you get me started, that airplane is absolutely amazing, and I have truly had so many opportunities. But probably the most rewarding of all of them have been downrange. You know, when you're over Afghanistan and there's friendly forces on the ground, and you are the reason they get back to that fob at the end of the day, makes it all worth it. So, is that good enough? All right, thank you.
And General, with this award, you become a lifetime honorary member of the Wings Club. So congratulations.